Ladies and gentlemen, how are we all doing today? It is RatedR reporting live from his studio where the magic happens now. Today, we're going to be looking into the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight where there have been a lot of controversial opinions. Some say Mike Tyson was paid to lose. Others say the fight was scripted straight from the off. We're going to be looking into some videos to try and construct exactly what went on that night. See if we can find any evidence supporting any theories. But before we get into that, I'm going to need you guys to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button plus the notification bell to keep track of all of my videos coming out in the future. But with all that stuff being said and done and out the way, let's see exactly what went on that night. Now, what you just saw there was Tyson in his prime. Feared by everybody, including boxers, heavyweight boxers. It doesn't matter who you were, you had a little bit of fear at least for Mike Tyson. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is what happened, minus the physicality, minus his age. As soon as he stepped in that ring with Jake Paul, he should have turned into an absolute savage. And I watched the fight. I didn't see that from Mike Tyson at all. He was a shell of his former self, which, okay, you got to take the age into consideration. You got to take the physical depreciation of his body into consideration as well. But I didn't like his style. He looked like he was pulling punches, and I've got videos to prove it as well. Something wasn't right with Mike. Now look, we all know when it comes to Jake Paul, it's never going to be a straightforward black and white fight. There's always going to be something in the contract that says, look, go easy on me, I'm a bit of a fanny. All Jake Paul wants to do is look good for his audience, for his subscribers, his image. That's all he's ever cared about. There is no doubt in my mind he would have offered Mike Tyson a fraction of the world to take a few punches, to maybe go down, to throw the fight. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm not 100% sure Mike Tyson wouldn't take it. At the end of the day, Mike's got a family to feed. He has a life outside of boxing. His family need him. So if he's going to get offered 50 million, 100 million to throw a fight, I genuinely believe he'd take it. But that, of course, means, ladies and gentlemen, that the fight is rigged. And with, of course, Jake Paul being involved, there's going to be some dodgy negotiations going down.
Day 4, it was okay, but you don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War. And get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
Yes!
Now, what we saw there was Mike Tyson training for the Jake Paul fight. And he looks very explosive, very good shape. His speed and agility is good. So why did we get this? Did someone mix up Mike Tyson's meds before the fight? Instead of giving him his vitamins and his paracetamol, did they give him Rohypnol? What is going on? Something isn't right here. There's no way you're performing that good in training and then in the actual fight, you're slow, you're lethargic. It's like, something's not right. And I know you're going to be cautious in a fight. You don't want to get hit with a stray punch or whatever. Of course you're going to be cautious. But you're Mike fucking Tyson. You are a natural-born killer. Regardless of your age, regardless of what your body says, you're going to want to kill Jake Paul. It's frustrating for everyone to watch who is a Mike Tyson fan because we all went into this fight thinking Mike Tyson's going to mop the floor with Jake Paul. And the only outcome that I can see here is the reason why Mike Tyson's pulling punches, he's looking slow, and he's letting Jake get the better of him is because of money.
They rigged this fight. This shit was hella scripted. There was a script that came out that said that Mike Tyson would go down in the 5th round. He did not go down in the 5th round. I think because Jake Paul didn't want people to be like, this is too unbelievable, because it looked like Mike Tyson was holding back. He trying not to fuck this nigga up. You could see that Jake was scared in the first 2 rounds. Next thing you know, he said, yo, bro, you got to chill out. 58 or not, that man is a demon. You could see in his face. And I feel like the pain was just too much. And they were just trying to put on a show. Like, Jake Paul should have went to WWE with his brother if he wanted to act and play.
I'll kill you, Mike.
Then if you peep Jake Paul's mannerisms after the fight is done in the middle of the ring and Mike Tyson's talking, you can see all these mannerisms. Like, he's like, yo, bro, you better not say too much. And it's because they paid my boy Mike Tyson. I don't care. He might have not been fighting all the time, but bro, like, I think Mike Tyson would have did a little bit more than just stand in the middle of the ring. And yeah, he might have like a little fix it. And look, they made a little joke about him. Yo, how you used to bite ears or whatever like that. Like, no, stop it, bro. You was trying to hold back because you understand that, like, you can't go to full Iron Mike on this man. And I get it. But this shit was rigged. I don't want to hear it. Don't at me. Jake Paul, you put on a nice show. Shout out to all the boxers, but no.
You know what, man? I have to agree with this guy. Jake Paul is the ringleader of a circus. And the thing is, he's not even trying to hide it neither. It's blatantly obvious. Mike Tyson was pulling punches. All of Jake Paul's previous opponents have no boxing experience. The only person who did have boxing experience was Tommy Fury. And there was no way he was going to take any amount of money with everything that Jake Paul had said about his baby and his missus prior to his fight. It's blatantly obvious that Jake Paul is trying to fix all of his fights. There's no hiding this anymore. Let's take a look at some of the clips of prime Mike Tyson. Now, I know you're just all going to say, but Ross, he's an old man, he's not the same person that he was back then. But he's still got that beast in him. And there's no taking that out of Mike Tyson. If money wasn't involved, he'd have beat the shit out of Jake Paul. And we all know it. He even said in one of his interviews, losing that fight, he made more money than what he used to make winning the fights. And look, I get it, for 20 million, I'd probably throw the fight as well, but part of me really just wanted him to forget about the money and be like, you know what, I'm gonna murder this guy. Because Jake Paul's ego is just too much. He's getting way above his station now, and he's making out like he's doing it all himself, and he's really just not, because he's just paying off all of these fighters. But hey, I'm sure the longer that this circus goes on, eventually he will be the only one believing his bullshit. I mean, I honestly can't wait to see who's going to fight next. Maybe he'll dig up Muhammad Ali for one last bout.
Mike is a complicated individual.
He looked like he could kill somebody.
Unapologetically open and honest.
You could not have a better friend than Mike Tyson.
Were you an unhappy kid?
I knew I had something and I had to let it out. I've been listening to people telling me I wasn't going to do anything with my life.
Michael is intimidating. He cannot control his temper.
I was gonna kill him if I had to.
He's my boy. He's with me.
Mike Tyson was called the baddest man on the planet because he was the baddest man on the planet.
When Tyson fought, everybody stopped to watch. The world stopped.
People feared him. They thought their life was gonna end.
Whoa.
Everybody was looking for the next Ali. And then here comes Kid Dynamite.
You have a sledgehammer, man. You ready to hit that? Is the hardest I ever been hit.
I mean, no fighter wants to get run over by a truck.
There's few people in the world that go by one name.
Tyson.
Tyson. His was the most recognizable face on the planet.
I mean, honestly, there's no doubt that Mike Tyson will go down as one of the greatest of all time. The legacy that this man has brought to the world of boxing is just magnificent. And I just pray to God that this isn't his final fight, because he deserves so much more to end that legacy. But if this is his last fight, then I will personally train and fight Jake Paul myself, because he has left a blemish on Mike Tyson's career. And for that, in my eyes, you will always be a prick. But before I end this video, ladies and gentlemen, there is a story about Mike Tyson that I don't think many of you guys know about. So sit back and enjoy this.
This boxer beat Muhammad Ali for 10 rounds, but later deeply regretted it. This story has been called the greatest revenge in boxing history. After a 2-year hiatus, Muhammad Ali returned to professional boxing in 1980, facing his former friend and sparring partner, Larry Holmes. The young boxer gave the legend no chance, landing over 300 punches. At that time, Ali was already suffering from Parkinson's disease, and after this beating, he soon retired. 14-year-old Mike Tyson watched their fight, and the next day, with the help of his trainer, managed to speak with his beaten idol over the phone. "When I grow up, I will avenge you against Holmes," he said. And 7 years later, Ali reminded him of his promise. "Get him for me, Mike," whispered the greatest. Never having been knocked out before, Larry Holmes felt the full force of the enraged beast from the first seconds. And by the 4th round, Iron Mike fulfilled his promise.
And from that moment, ladies and gentlemen, the legend Mike Tyson was born. And Jake Paul is still a prick. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to leave the video there, but I hope I gave a lot of useful information about the history of Mike Tyson, where he came from, how he started boxing, and how this will be a total blemish on his career if he does end it this way. And honestly, I hope Jake Paul is ashamed of himself for fixing all of his fights, including this one, because he obviously caught Mike Tyson at a bad time where he needed the money. And this might be how his career ends, and that has to hang on Jake Paul's head. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Rated R. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Please take care, and peace.